I have had the privilege of working with a number of founders, and there's something that I find interesting. The reason why most people step away from their 9 to 5 to start their own business is because of freedom. They want more time, more control, more life. But the sad thing is that what most founders have ended up building is a company that needs you constantly. The thing of freedom seems to be a far cry when you set out thinking, and it's for most people, they usually say the first 6 months you need to give the business everything. And then you give the business everything. And then you said, okay, I need 6 more months. You gave the business everything. Then you're like, okay, now I have a few employees. I need to make sure this thing is stabilizing. You gave the business another year. You're like, we're beginning to grow. We're beginning to expand. I need to give it a bit more. You gave the business another year. You have kept giving and giving and giving. This thing called freedom, you now consider it a luxury. Those are freedom. That's for people who don't know what they're building. I know what I'm building. What started as 6 months, you now tell yourself, 10 years from now, I will have all the freedom I want. You have become a slave of the very vehicle that was supposed to give you freedom. The sad reality is that for some people, it has come at the cost of relationships. You told the people around you, you promised them that if they gave you 6 months, you would be able to give them back that time. They gave you 6 months, then you took another 6 months, then another year. You missed anniversaries, you missed birthdays, you missed play dates, you missed all these things. But it doesn't have to be that way. Today, I want to give you 3 shifts that you can begin applying immediately or this week, and you will begin to see change. You will get back, you will wrestle back your power from the company that has become your master. For most people, the biggest reality is that decisions still land at your desk. Every decision. If it's not every decision, then you are still the final check for almost every decision. You call it quality assurance, you call it brand protection, you call it customer satisfaction, give it whatever name, but you are the final seal of almost every decision. If you stepped away, things are slow, things slow down, the phone keeps ringing non-stop. What do we do with this client? How far have you gone with my work? It's a buzz. What you have done is that you have not built a system. You have designed something around yourself. And that is tiring. That is what is going to kill you, if I might put it bluntly. So I want to give you 3 shifts that you can begin to apply. Shift number 1. And this is the place where most people get jittery when I'm working with founders. When I suggest this initially, they get jittery. Shift number 1. Stop being the place where decisions land. Aha, that's a big one for most people because suddenly they're like, you don't know what you're saying, you do not know what is at stake. Well, try this. The next time any of your team members comes to ask, for a decision, sit them down and ask them, what do you think and why? Now, most people are good when it comes to asking, what do you think? They do not ask why. Some ask why, but they do not give a criteria for why. And we're going to discuss the criteria, what that why constitutes, so that they can be able to make a good decision. So the next time someone comes to you for a decision, don't just give the decision. Ask them, what do you think and why? Imagine if you began to do this consistently, what would change? Suddenly, the people begin to realize, oh, I'm not here to only execute, I'm here to also think. And they begin to think through things. Imagine how that would look different. So, ask, what do you think and why? Shift number 2 is the why. Give the criteria for decision making. When they come to you for answers, give decision making criteria. Every time people keep coming, the reason why people keep coming to you for answers is because they don't have your way of thinking. And the reason why you keep all the decision making on your table is because you don't trust people to make decisions like you would make them. So, what do we change now? We begin to give people the thinking criteria, and that is very key. You begin to ask people, what are the values of the company? What are we building here? List these things. Don't just be abstract. List these things. What are we building? What do we value? What do we protect at all costs? What do we prioritize? List these things. What you are doing is setting helpful decision-making criteria that when they sit down to make a decision, they will ask, is this in line with value? Does this fall under the category of priority? That way, you are arming them with the why so that they can make the decision. So let people know, if you want people to think like you, give them the criteria. Why do you decide the way you decide? Let them see that, not in an abstract way, but in a clear, written down way. You might think this will slow you down. And yes, the goal is not to build faster. The goal is to build clearer. What might take a bit of time now, when they get the hang of things, oh boy, it will buy you time in the future. It will buy you time because now they will know how you think, they will know how to make decisions, and things will move much faster. All right, how do we operationalize this now or even tomorrow? Well, it's very simple. That is shift number 3. Remove yourself from 2 decisions this week. Don't worry, they don't have to be decisions that carry a heavy burden. They don't have to be decisions that carry a heavy implication. They can be decisions that carry a smaller implication. Remove yourself. When the team comes, tell them no, that is for you to decide. When they come halfway to say, this is what we are thinking, what is your opinion? Send them back. Don't correct on the spot. Don't jump in during the process. Because when you jump in during the process, you are creating dependency. So don't jump in during the process. Let them make the decision. When they have made the decision, you can now review the decision together. And for most people, review is, this is a good decision, well done. Or, no, guys, this is not good, this is not good. That's not the way to review decisions. The way to review decisions is to refer back to the criteria and ask, okay, when you were thinking of this, tell me, what did you consider in this bracket? Did you think of the issue of priority? Did you think of the issue of value? Did you think of issue? You are taking them back. You are reinforcing the criteria. What you're doing is that you are strengthening their ability to see things like you do. So that is how you review, by referring them back to the criteria. And that is how you begin to strengthen their decision making. If this works, and I know it will work if you do it, this is what will happen. You will have less interruptions. There will be fewer knocks on your door asking, how do we do this? What are your thoughts? There will be, because now they are able to make decisions and think like you. So there will be fewer interruptions. Number 2, the first draft that comes to you will be much better, more improved. Usually a lot of time is lost. The first draft comes, it's half-baked. You look at it, you send it back. That back and forth takes a lot of time. But if you engage the 3 things I told you, eventually what will happen is when they bring a first draft to you, it will be much better and you will save more time. The third thing that will happen is that decisions will happen without escalation. For some people, some founders, it's like they are constantly firefighting. There is fire here, there is trouble here, there is that decision, there is the other decision. They are constantly firefighting. But if you engage the 3 things I discussed earlier, the 3 shifts, if you engage them, decisions will be made more clearer, they'll be made with more confidence, they'll be made much more earlier than firefighting. So these things you're going to begin to see these things if you engage the shifts that I said. Here are 2 questions to help you. You might think you know these things, but when you list them, you will be shocked at how much of a slave you have become for the very thing that was to buy you freedom. Question number 1. Ask yourself, where does the business still depend on you most? List these things. Don't make a mental note. List these things. Where does the business still depend on you most? Question number 2. Of the 3 shifts that we have talked about, which is the hardest for you to apply and why? That question will reveal where the biggest issue of trust is. Which of the 3 shifts is harder for you to implement and why? If you don't take anything from this, try these 3 shifts this week. If you forget anything I said, just try the 3 shifts this week. You will see how quickly things will move. You will see how much confidence people work with. You will see how much easier things now begin to happen, whether you are there or you are not there. If you want to have a further discussion, let me know in the messages. I'll find a way to contact you and we can take this further. Thank you.